Think about your morning routine. You brush, you floss, you rinse with expensive chemicals, yet you still end up at the dentist sweating in fear. But what if we travel back 20,000 years? Meet the ancient hunter. No dentist, no toothpaste, and zero high-tech toothbrushes. Yet, archaeological evidence shows something shocking. Their teeth were practically perfect. They were chewing through tough, raw mammoth meat and bones without a single cavity. While we struggle with toothaches despite our billion-dollar hygiene industry, our ancestors had a secret weapon. It wasn't magic. It was a combination of primitive tools and a brilliant evolutionary diet. So, did ancient humans actually brush their teeth, or did they just let nature take its course? The short answer is yes. They did brush, but they didn't have plastic bristles or minty chemicals. Instead, they looked at the trees around them. Long before the first toothbrush was patented, our ancestors discovered the chew stick. They would pick specific twigs from medicinal plants and chew on the ends until the wood fibers separated. This created a natural frayed brush that was surprisingly effective. The friction from these wood fibers wiped away food debris and scrubbed the enamel without scratching it. But they didn't stop there. They also used their own fingers as tools. They would wrap a rough piece of animal hide around their finger and give their gums a deep, stimulating massage. This kept the blood flowing and their gums incredibly strong. To understand why this worked, we need to look at what happens when you brush today. Modern toothbrushes use synthetic nylon bristles. While they clean surface stains, these stiff plastic needles can actually micro-scratch your protective enamel over time. They are harsh, stiff, and completely artificial. Now, look at the ancient alternative, the natural chew stick. When chewed, the tip doesn't become a weapon, it becomes a soft, spongy brush. These natural fibers are flexible and bend perfectly around the unique curves of your teeth. Instead of scraping like a plastic blade, they absorb and sweep away plaque gently. But the real magic of the ancient brush wasn't just mechanical, it was chemical. Plants like the neem tree or miswak contain natural antibacterial properties built right into the wood. Every time an ancient human brushed, they were releasing natural medicine that killed bacteria on contact. Your modern plastic brush? It just sits on your bathroom counter, collecting toilet bacteria. It has no healing properties. It requires chemical factory toothpaste to do any real work. So while we trade our enamel health for artificial plastic stiffness, ancient humans were healing their mouths with every single stroke. Now, let's talk about toothpaste. If you walk into a store today, you'll see aesthetic black tubes labeled activated charcoal toothpaste. Influencers swear by it, and it costs you around $12 American for a single tube. But guess who invented that trend? The Caveman. And they didn't pay a single cent for it. After a long night of cooking mammoth meat, ancient humans would look at the cold ashes. They would crush the burnt charcoal into a fine powder, mix it with a little bit of sea salt or crushed mint leaves, and rub that black paste straight onto their teeth. It looked absolutely terrifying, like a horror movie. But scientifically, charcoal is highly porous. It acts like a natural magnet. It bound to toxins, scrubbed away stubborn stains, and neutralized bad odors instantly. When they rinsed with fresh river water, the black washed away, leaving behind a bright, blinding white smile. So, while you waste your hard-earned money on fancy marketing, the caveman did it better for free. Now, let's look at the ultimate reason why ancient teeth outlived ours, the diet. Today, we live in a world surrounded by processed sugar. For an ancient human, a supermarket full of candy simply didn't exist. Their only source of sweetness came from wild berries or the occasional beehive guarded by angry ancient bees. Because processed sugar was 0% of their diet, the bacteria in their mouths had nothing to feed on. You see, modern tooth decay happens when bacteria eat your leftover sugar and secrete highly acidic waste that burns holes through your enamel. No sugar means no acid. No acid means no cavities. Instead of soft, sticky bread and sugary snacks that cling to your teeth for hours, ancient humans ate high-fiber roots, tough fibrous plants, and raw nuts. Chewing these tough foods acted like a secondary cleaning mechanism. It physically scraped their teeth clean with every single bite. So, their daily meals were actually doing the cleaning for them, while our modern diet forces us to brush frantically just to survive the sugar attack. But you don't have to just take our word for it. The proof is locked in stone. When archaeologists dig up ancient human remains, one of the first things they study is dental calculus. Calculus is just a fancy scientific word for fossilized dental plaque. Recently, Scientists decided to scratch beneath the surface of this hardened plaque, and what they found under the magnifying glass shocked the entire dental community. Trapped perfectly inside the stone-hard plaque were tiny, microscopic fragments of herbal twigs. These weren't just random pieces of wood. Chemical analysis proved they belonged to specific medicinal plants known for killing mouth bacteria. This means 20,000 years ago, ancient humans weren't just chewing wood by accident. They knew exactly which plants would heal their gums and keep their breath fresh. The plaque that we modern humans try so hard to scrub away with chemicals was actually a permanent record of the caveman's brilliant oral hygiene routine. They didn't leave behind written books or manuals because they literally wrote their dental history right inside their own teeth. This brings us to a smelly modern problem: chronic bad breath. Today, we spend fortunes on strong chemical mouthwashes to fix it. The labels proudly promise to kill 99.9% of germs. But as an ancient human would tell you, that is a massive mistake. Your mouth is not a bathroom floor that needs to be bleached. It is a delicate ecosystem filled with billions of good bacteria that protect your health. When you blast your mouth with alcohol-based rinses, you wipe out everything, the bad bacteria and the good ones. This leaves your mouth completely dry. And a dry mouth is the perfect breeding ground for smelly anaerobic bacteria to return with a vengeance. Ancient humans never had this cycle of self-inflicted bad breath because they cleaned their mouths with natural herbs and water. Their oral microbiome stayed perfectly balanced. The good bacteria thrived, naturally suppressing the germs that cause foul odors. Their breath didn't smell like artificial wintergreen chemicals, it just smelled like clean, natural air. By trying too hard to sterilize our mouths, we modern humans actually made our breath worse. For thousands of years, humans had perfect teeth. But then, everything changed. About 10,000 years ago, humans invented agriculture. We stopped chasing wild animals and started growing crops like wheat, rice, and corn. This was the agricultural revolution, and it was a total disaster for our mouths. Suddenly, our ancestors were eating high carbohydrate meals every single day. When you chew carbohydrates, your saliva breaks them down into simple sugars. And remember the starving bacteria from earlier? They finally got their massive feast. As humans ate more soft grains, sticky food debris started trapping tightly between their teeth. And then the inevitable happened. One morning, an ancient farmer woke up with a strange sensation. He looked into a reflection of still water, and for the first time in human evolution, he saw it. A tiny, rotting black hole right in the middle of his tooth. The natural chew sticks and herbal rinses could no longer keep up with the non-stop sugar overload. The era of perfect ancient teeth was officially over. Fast forward to the modern world, and our diet has become softer than ever. We eat processed foods, soft white bread, and smoothies that require almost zero chewing effort. Because our jaw muscles don't get the intense workout they were evolved for, a strange thing happened. Over generations, the human jaw began to shrink. But here's the catch. Our teeth didn't get the memo. We still grow the exact same number of teeth, 32 teeth, trying to fit into a jaw that only has room for 28. The result? Teeth growing crooked, overlapping, and fighting for survival. This is the exact reason why modern humans need braces to force their teeth straight. An ancient human would look at braces like a medieval torture device. And then there's the ultimate nightmare, wisdom teeth. Because our jaws are too small, these final molars have nowhere to go. They get impacted, causing excruciating pain, infections, and forcing us into surgery. Ancient skulls tell a completely different story. Their wisdom teeth grew in perfectly straight, with plenty of room to chew tough foods. Our modern comfort didn't just make our lives easier, it literally broke our skeletal structure. So, what's the final verdict? The ancient human didn't have dentists or technology, but their mouth was a perfectly designed, self-cleaning ecosystem. We trade our powerful jawlines and strong teeth for soft convenience and processed sugar. Our ancestors proved that you don't need a $1,000 sonic toothbrush to have perfect teeth. You just need to move your jaw and eat what evolution intended. But let's be honest, you're probably not going to cancel your dentist appointment next week. However, next time you brush your teeth with that chemical mint paste, just know that the caveman did it better, 20,000 years before it was cool. If you want to see more mind-blowing comparisons from history, subscribe for more.
Goodbye!